Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you some different looks I've ended up with pretty much the same picture or a very similar picture with a very similar framing. So here is, for example, one picture of the Kerrang, and I really like this look, but I also tried out some different looks. For example, here is the exact same picture in very dramatic black and white, and I like both pictures. Both have a very different feel to it. And then also here is a slightly different picture a few seconds later with the car and a slightly different framing, but overall it's almost the same, just with very different editing. So you can see here three completely different looks from pretty much the same picture. And another example would be this picture right here. This is the Kerrang on the Isle of Skye as well, by the way. Here one look, really like it, but here's a very dramatic black and white picture. Now this is not the exact same raw file because the people are obviously not on the frame here, but it's pretty much, you know, same framing, same focal length, just slightly different composition. So completely different looks. This is a very flat and very low contrast black and white picture, and here's another color picture. So you can see four different looks for pretty much the same picture. And another example here is this picture. Now this really was difficult to edit, so I've tried some different looks, and you know, I still am not quite sure which one I actually like better. But here are very different moods and different feelings in these edits. Here is the first one, here would be the second one. See, much brighter, much more dynamic, but this one really has a soft and sunset feel to it. So I like both, but completely different. Then here is an even more colorful and even more saturated picture than this one, even brighter. And the last one that I have here is an even different picture with slightly different tones, slightly less highlights than, for example, this one. But you can see it's really amazing what you can end up with one single raw file. And another example is here, pretty much the same scene in both photos that I'm going to show you. Here is one and here's the other. Very saturated here. By the way, I've moved the moon in post-production, so it's really, these pictures were maybe taken a few seconds apart, but you can see the editing is completely different. This has a very soft feel to it, whereas this is a very vibrant and very saturated picture. So once again, I like both, but what I want to tell you with this video is really that you sometimes can try out multiple different edits, because there are thousands of possibilities of what you can do with a raw file. So sometimes it's really worth to kind of go a little bit different routes with the same picture and just see which one you like best at the end. And by the way, the very cool thing with Lightroom is that you don't have to necessarily shoot like 5 different pictures in the field of the same thing. You can just select your raw file at the start and right click, create virtual copy, and it will not eat up any disk space, yet it will give you 2 separate raw files to work with. So I really like this feature, and I hope you could get maybe some inspiration, some ideas off of this video. Maybe it will change the way you edit in the future. By the way, this is not a thing that I do with all of my pictures, but if I have a very good image and I really want to get the most out of it, or I have multiple ideas on how the picture could look like, you know, I sometimes do that. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a great day.